again. I'm continuing my Q&A with an author, me, vlog segments. Today's question comes from Hermione Granger44, who is also Maddie the Reader, who is just Maddie. So hey Maddie! And I think she's a couple of other things, but we're just going to go with Hermione Granger44 because that's what she asked the question under. So the question is, which of the Madoran books in the Akane series has been my favourite to write so far? And it's kind of, it's a difficult question because I've, obviously Akane and Raylia are written, and Raylia comes out in a couple of weeks, but I've written 2 more books on top of that too, so I've written 4 of the 5 books, so I've got to be so careful with what I say and the reasons why I give. But I will say that every time I write a new book in this series, I absolutely love it. I hit the end part of it, or will be continued in the next book, and I go, that is such a good book. But then I have the, oh my gosh, this is such a terrible book, and I'm such a bad author, and no one's ever going to read this, and no one's going to like them, and then you have to do kind of the slap across the face and the, overdosing of chocolate, and then the pick yourself up and stop being such an author kind of thing, because we all feel that way, I think, or so the memes say. So if you want to see those, writerly memes, or if you ever feel like, nothing's working out for you, then write a book and see how that goes for you, because you feel all the emotions. I'm off topic now. What I'm trying to say is, if it comes to loving a book, every time I write a new one in this series, I sort of feel like I love it more. But because I've written the 3rd and 4th books in such a short amount of time recently, I wrote the 3rd book. I finished that in October, and I just finished the 4th book last month, or early January or something like that this year, and I wrote them in I wrote the 3rd book in 40 days, I wrote the 4th book in 26 days, so I was a bit crazy with that, and they're so fresh in my head. So I would actually have to say I loved the 4th book so much. It's such a action book, but there's something about the 3rd book. If I had to pick a book out of this entire series that I love the most, and it would have to be the 3rd book, and that would be because purely of the emotional journey for me on it. I don't know if you know this, but Raylia was actually written before my publishers took on Akane. So I'd written both of those books before my publishers picked them up, so I had no pressure of expectations when it came to writing Raylia. Whereas when it comes to writing the 3rd book and the 4th book and the 5th book, you guys are reading these books already, so in the back of my head there's, oh, what do people expect? What do they want to have happen? What don't they want to have happen? What do my publishers want? What do I want? What's going on here? And so going into the 3rd book, I plotted it. For the first time ever, I came up with a plot. I sat down and thought about all these things that I presumed people would want in this story and this series, and I tried to fit them in so that they would work. But my characters had other plans, and I say that because I wrote 1 chapter of the 3rd book and everything went out the window. Alex took off on her own, and or on her own without me, is what I mean. And everything got changed. Everything that I plotted went out the window. I had to just do it day by day and see where she took me. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's how it happened. And where she took me was somewhere incredible. And it was a roller coaster of a journey, and it just... it's beautiful, and it turns out it was a very difficult book to write for a lot of reasons, but it just... the world building in it and the character development in it, not just for Alex but for those around Alex, there was just something, there's an essence in that book that I absolutely adore. So I can't wait for it to come out, and then it all flows straight over into book 4, literally, because book 3 ends and book 4 starts on the same day that book 3 ends, within like an hour of the end of book 3, whereas Akane going into Raylia, there's like 2 months or something like that, a couple of weeks, over the holidays, there's a gap there, but this one jumps straight on. So I sort of feel like book 3 and book 4 are sort of one book, but very, very big. So I can't wait for them to come out and you guys to experience that for yourself. In the meantime, thank you for the question, Maddie. It was a really good one, and I will continue these Q&As as we go and as more questions come in, and I'm signing off now. Bye!